Number 1. When China copies the whole world. China is often described as one of the world's strangest shopping paradises, where the boundary between genuine products and counterfeits is increasingly blurred. Almost anything can be found here, from luxury brands to highly sophisticated replicas that require close inspection to tell apart. An iPhone, a pair of Nike shoes, or even a Chanel bag can be purchased for a fraction of the original price, while looking nearly identical to the real thing. China's reputation as the world's counterfeit factory is no coincidence. Two of the most important hubs are Shenzhen and Yiwu. Yiwu, in particular, is known as a global goods supermarket, where nearly every product has a domestically produced version. Clothing, watches, and electronic components are sold in massive markets covering tens of hectares. Wholesalers from Africa, the Middle East, and South America regularly travel here to buy in bulk and distribute worldwide. Many small retail chains in developing countries rely heavily on Yiwu's supply networks. China does not only replicate products, but also recreates famous global landmarks. Replicas of the Eiffel Tower, London Bridge, and Venetian-style neighborhoods with gondolas have appeared across the country. Some residential districts are designed in classical European architecture, creating the sensation of being in France or Italy without leaving Asia. For many locals, this is not blind imitation, but a way to experience the wider world at home. At the same time, China leads in applying technology to everyday life. In major cities, cash has nearly disappeared. Payments are made by facial recognition or fingerprint scanning, often faster than card swipes. Even traditional markets have adopted biometric payment systems that connect directly to banking databases and e-commerce platforms. Technology is everywhere. Robots serve customers in cafes, restaurants, and exhibitions. Some can dance, model clothing, or act as household companions. Self-driving vehicles are no longer experimental. Autonomous taxis, buses, and even motorcycles now operate on public roads, including residential areas. Book a ride through an app, and a driverless vehicle arrives within minutes. Chinese companies are also testing flying cars and solar-powered buses, turning science fiction into reality. Parks feature smart benches with wireless charging and entertainment screens. In some cities, public benches even monitor heart rate and body temperature to alert authorities if elderly users are at risk. The long-term goal is to create cities that respond automatically to human needs. If this sounds unbelievable, visit China once and see it firsthand. And if you already have, leave a comment with the number 1 and share whether reality matches the story. Number 2. The beauty secrets of Chinese women. Chinese women have long been viewed as symbols of elegance and graceful beauty. They are often described as having delicate facial features, fair skin, almond-shaped eyes, and a balanced, high nose bridge. Their slender figures, paired with a gentle yet confident presence, create a distinctive charm that blends tradition with modernity. Many compare this beauty to a cup of jasmine tea, subtle at first but increasingly rich over time. Today, film, social media, and the fashion industry continue to amplify this image, shaping global perceptions of Asian beauty. As a result, many international brands select Chinese models to represent refinement and emotional restraint. In contemporary society, Chinese women place particular emphasis on their legs, viewing them as an important aesthetic feature. They invest time in massage, acupressure, moisturizing routines, and yoga to maintain straight and toned legs. In cities such as Beijing and Shanghai, spas offer traditional foot care services that combine ancient practices with modern technology. Some centers even market these treatments as ways to improve circulation and relieve stress for office workers. Historically, however, beauty standards in China were far more severe. The ideal of the golden lotus foot symbolized nobility and refinement. From the late 10th century onward, foot binding forced girls as young as 4 to tightly bind their feet, causing fractures and permanent deformation, leaving feet only 7 to 10 centimeters long. This practice persisted for centuries, and by the 19th century, nearly half of Chinese women, particularly among the Han elite, had experienced it. Today, foot binding is widely recognized as a reminder of how harmful beauty ideals can be to the human body. Fair skin has also long represented social status. In the past, pale skin indicated freedom from outdoor labor, and this belief remains influential. Chinese women often avoid sun exposure, apply sunscreen, and follow detailed skincare routines. Some turn to risky methods such as whitening pills, vinegar face washes, or injectable treatments, prompting repeated warnings from medical professionals about serious health risks. In relationships, Chinese women tend to have clear expectations for partners. While height, stable income, housing, and transportation matter, kindness and reliability are considered most important. Though often labeled as pragmatic, these preferences reflect a deep gender imbalance, with tens of millions more men than women. In such a competitive environment, careful partner selection becomes a way for women to safeguard their social position. Number 3. Inventions that changed the world. China is one of the very few ancient civilizations that have survived continuously to this day, with a history spanning over 5,000 years without interruption. During that time, the nation not only formed powerful dynasties, but also created inventions that laid the foundation for the modern world. Paper, gunpowder, the compass, and printing are known as the Four Great Inventions, each contributing to reshaping how humans learn, travel, communicate, and wage war. Gunpowder was discovered in the 9th century when Taoist priests conducted experiments to find an elixir of immortality. The combination of charcoal, sulfur, and saltpeter created a compound with unexpected destructive power. Initially, gunpowder was only used in ceremonial fireworks, but it quickly spread to the military. From the 10th century, the Chinese army used gunpowder-laden rockets and rudimentary grenades in internal conflicts, laying the groundwork for modern warfare. The compass originated from the early Chinese understanding of magnetism. Initially, it was used in feng shui to determine auspicious and inauspicious directions. By the 11th century, the compass needle was improved to rotate freely on the water's surface, allowing its use on ships. Thanks to the compass, Chinese fleets during the Song and Ming dynasties could sail long distances without relying entirely on the stars, creating a significant advantage in maritime trade, centuries before Europe could achieve the same. Paper was a major turning point in the history of human knowledge. Before that, writing on bamboo, wood, or silk made knowledge a luxury. In 105 AD, Kai Lun improved the papermaking process using recycled materials such as tree bark and rags. This invention quickly spread throughout Chinese society. Thanks to the cheap and lightweight paper, the system of official examinations expanded, contributing to the formation of a large intellectual class rarely seen in other civilizations of the time. Later, woodblock printing and movable type printing emerged, allowing for mass reproduction of books. The Diamond Sutra, printed in 1868, is clear evidence of this advancement. Besides the four great inventions, porcelain is also a symbol of China's exquisite craftsmanship. High-temperature firing techniques allowed for the creation of thin, lightweight, yet extremely durable products. For centuries, Europe was unable to replicate the Chinese porcelain-making formula, making porcelain a luxury item reserved only for royalty and nobility. Today, Ming and Qing dynasty porcelain pieces are still displayed in leading museums around the world. The fact that the word China in English is synonymous with porcelain is not merely a coincidence, but a lasting legacy of a civilization that led the world for thousands of years. Number 4. Shocking things that are perfectly legal. In vibrant cities like Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Beijing, a new form of street vending is gaining worldwide attention. Instead of fixed shops, many young Chinese people are using their personal cars, such as Range Rovers, Porsches, Mercedes, or Hondas, to sell coffee, bubble tea, and fast food. Each car is designed as a mobile stall, decorated with LED lights, neon signs, and sound systems, creating a modern and unique feel. Some neighborhoods even have fixed car markets at night, where dozens of cars line up and compete based on their styling rather than price. Many also combine this with live streaming on Douyin, selling to customers on site while simultaneously closing online orders in real time. What was once considered an encroachment on public space in many countries is now seen in China as a symbol of the flexible business thinking of the urban youth. Simultaneously, the Chinese economy has almost completely shifted to a cashless state. In major cities, over 90% of retail transactions are conducted using QR codes via WeChat Pay or Alipay. Remarkably, this system covers all social classes. Beggars, street performers, and hawkers can all receive money by scanning a code. On the streets, the sight of a performer with a QR code on their hat allowing passers-by to transfer money in seconds has become commonplace. There are instances of personalized QR codes circulating on social media, enabling individuals to receive donations from users in the US or Europe without intermediary platforms. Some tech companies even collaborate with these individuals to study payment behavior, demonstrating how China's digital economy is expanding to vulnerable groups. From a social perspective, legal differences are also evident in the law on the rights of the elderly. Since 2013, China has required children to visit their parents regularly. Failure to do so can be considered a violation of the law. Although this concept is not specifically defined and rarely punished, the law reflects the reality of China's rapidly aging population, with hundreds of millions over 60 years old. According to population reports, many localities view this law more as a symbolic tool than a coercive measure, emphasizing family responsibilities in modern society. While many countries are wary of laws interfering with private lives, in China, this is accepted as part of an effort to maintain traditional values amidst technological advancements and rapid urbanization. Number 5. Customs that stunned the world. In southeastern China, there once existed a tea-making ritual with rules rarely seen in culinary history. Only unmarried girls, dressed in pure attire, were permitted to pick tea leaves, and they had to do so using only their mouths, never their hands. This tea symbolized absolute purity and was reserved exclusively for the imperial family. Folklore suggests the ritual also served to demonstrate a woman's virtue and discipline before selection for court ceremonies. Today, the practice has largely disappeared, but its name remains part of Chinese tea culture. Some tea festivals in Fujian and Zhejiang now recreate it as a cultural performance. Legendary teas such as Da Hong Pao and Tie Guan Yin can sell for tens of thousands of dollars per kilogram, as buyers pay for history and symbolism as much as flavor. In the Southwest, among the Tujia, Yi, and Zhuang communities, the tradition of crying before marriage carries strong emotional meaning. For 10 days before the wedding, the bride cries daily, later joined by her mother and other female relatives. These tears represent filial piety, gratitude, and a farewell to youth rather than sadness. Researchers suggest the ritual helped brides release emotional pressure before entering marriages that were often arranged. While many regions have simplified the practice, some villages still preserve it as a form of folk art accompanied by traditional music. In Hunan and Hubei, weddings take on a contrasting tone through the ritual of beating the groom. Each strike is believed to bring blessings, with pain symbolizing the removal of bad luck before marriage. Guests may even receive red envelopes as part of the ceremony. Scholars note similarities between this custom and purification rituals found in other ancient cultures. In remote parts of Tibet, marriage follows an entirely different belief system. A woman is considered eligible to marry only after gaining sufficient life experience with at least 20 men, keeping a small memento from each relationship. In sparsely populated and harsh environments, social experience is valued more than virginity. Women with many suitors are admired, while marrying a virgin is viewed as unlucky. Completing this ritual often requires women to travel between villages, reflecting the unique social structure of these isolated regions. Number 6. China's most mysterious forbidden zones. Despite efforts to expand tourism, China still maintains several areas considered forbidden zones, combining strict security controls with rare visual appeal. One notable example is Beijing Military City, a massive military command complex under construction in Qinglonghu, roughly 32 kilometers from central Beijing. Covering an estimated 1,500 acres and believed to be many times larger than the Pentagon, the site includes deep underground bunkers designed to survive nuclear attacks. Multiple sources suggest it may replace Western Hills as a wartime command center. The government has released no official details, and the area remains tightly sealed to ensure uninterrupted command capability during major power conflict. In Sichuan province, Among mountains rising above 4,000 meters, La Rungar, also known as the Sertar Buddhist Academy, was once the world's largest Buddhist monastic community. Tens of thousands of monks and nuns lived in red wooden houses spread across the mountainside, forming a city-like landscape in the clouds. Since 2016, however, the site has been closed to foreigners, with domestic access heavily restricted due to the region's religious and political sensitivity. Several control campaigns have resulted in the removal of a number of monks. Also in Sichuan, Dadu Gorge, or Jingkou Grand Canyon, is a little-known geological marvel. Stretching over 26 kilometers and plunging up to 2,600 meters deep, the canyon resembles a vast scar carved into the earth. Morning fog often fills the gorge, leaving mountain peaks rising like islands above clouds. Despite its dramatic beauty, foreigners are barred because of nearby military zones and unstable geology, while Chinese visitors need special permits to enter core areas. The mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang is another restricted site, this time for archaeological reasons. Although the Terracotta Army was uncovered in 1974, the underground palace containing the emperor's tomb remains sealed. Ancient texts describe rivers of mercury inside, and modern tests confirm unusually high mercury levels, making excavation risky. As a result, only previously excavated sections are open to the public. Along the G219 highway in Aksai Chin, visitors may travel the main route through stark desert and plateau scenery, but surrounding areas are sensitive border zones. Stopping or photographing is prohibited, and many sections require licensed tours, reflecting tight security along the Indian border. Lastly, Lop Nur served as China's nuclear test site from 1964 to 1996. It remains closed due to military use and concerns over residual radiation. Recent satellite imagery indicates ongoing infrastructure development, reinforcing access restrictions. Lop Nur's appeal lies in its Cold War nuclear history and the extreme isolation of its desert landscape. Number 7. Life behind the firewall. China is often described as the country with the highest level of social control in the world, where the internet, popular culture, and personal life are all tightly regulated. Citizens cannot access global platforms such as Google, Facebook, or YouTube. Even TikTok, a globally influential app created in China, is unavailable domestically. Instead, people use Douyin, a local version built with a very different censorship system and algorithm. The government's objective is to maintain strict control over information flows and reduce external influence through a powerful digital firewall. To replace foreign services, China has developed its own independent technology ecosystem. WeChat functions as far more than a social network, integrating messaging, digital payments, and public services. Baidu serves as the primary search engine, while Youku and IQIYI dominate online entertainment. More recently, DeepSeek has been introduced as a domestic artificial intelligence platform designed to compete with ChatGPT. Together, these systems make China's internet operate as a largely closed environment, where online activity and data are closely monitored. Researchers commonly refer to this structure as the Great Firewall, which acts both as a technical barrier and a national information management tool. Control also extends beyond the digital sphere into population policy. For decades, the one-child policy was seen as essential to social stability. Even after being relaxed to allow 2 children, families who have a third child can still face financial penalties and negative marks in their civic records. While population growth was successfully curbed, China now faces rapid population aging and historically low birth rates. In response, the government has introduced measures such as financial incentives for parents, housing loan support, and encouragement for men to take a more active role in childcare. The entertainment sector is similarly regulated. Only around 30 foreign films are approved for release each year, and Hollywood productions must undergo editing to meet censorship requirements. Content related to politics, religion, or human rights is removed. Domestic cultural works are expected to promote approved social values and national spirit while avoiding themes seen as ideologically problematic. The clearest symbol of this governance model is China's public surveillance system. With hundreds of millions of security cameras nationwide, the country operates the largest surveillance network in the world. Supported by facial recognition and artificial intelligence, it enables real-time monitoring of public life. While such systems often raise privacy concerns in Western societies, many people in China view them as tools for maintaining public order and safety. Number 8. Why is Chinese the most difficult language in the world? Mandarin Chinese, also known as Standard Mandarin, is currently the official language of China and is considered a rare living legacy from ancient East Asian civilization. According to the U.S. Institute of Foreign Affairs, English speakers need approximately 2,100 hours of study, equivalent to nearly 4 years, to achieve conversational fluency. This figure demonstrates the complexity of Chinese, which far surpasses many other widely spoken languages in the world. The most distinctive feature of Chinese is its tonal system. In this language, pitch directly determines the meaning of a word. The same syllable, like ma, can be interpreted differently by changing the tone of voice, from mother to horse, or even as an insult. For beginners, this is the biggest barrier because they hear the sounds almost identically, while native speakers recognize the differences very clearly. Unlike languages that use alphabets, Chinese relies entirely on Chinese characters. Each character is a unit with its own distinct meaning. To read ordinary newspapers, learners must memorize 2,000 to 3,000 characters, while the total number of recorded Chinese characters exceeds 50,000. Many characters are pictographic, such as the character for person, ren, which resembles a human figure, or the character for mountain, which depicts mountains. This makes learning Chinese like approaching a system of visual and cognitive symbols. Chinese is also famous for its homophones. With only about 400 basic syllables but tens of thousands of vocabulary words, a single sound can have many different meanings. Therefore, listeners must rely heavily on context, tone of voice, and facial expressions. This is also why Chinese people often speak slowly and expressively when communicating. In contrast to the complexity of sounds and characters, Chinese grammar is quite simple. There are no verb conjugations, no tenses, and no distinction between singular and plural. Today, Chinese is spoken by over 1.4 billion people and is considered a key cultural link connecting China to the world. More and more Westerners are learning Chinese not only for economic reasons, but also to understand a way of thinking that has continuously evolved over 3,000 years. When learning Chinese, people not only learn how to speak, but also how to perceive time, society, and people from a Chinese perspective. Number 9. China dominates the world of tea. China is not only considered the cradle of tea culture, but also the world's largest tea production and consumption center. The country contributes over 40% of global tea production, controlling almost the entire value chain from cultivation and processing to export. In 2023 alone, the Chinese tea industry generated over 320 billion yuan in revenue, equivalent to approximately $40 billion, and provided livelihoods for millions of rural workers. Fujian, Yunnan, Zhejiang, and Hunan provinces are often referred to as the 4 pillars of Chinese tea culture. Among them, Fujian stands out not only for its oolong tea, but also as the birthplace of Baihao Yinzhen, one of the world's most expensive white teas, once used as tribute during the Qing dynasty. China's leading position in the tea world stems not simply from the scale of production, but from the close connection between its people and natural conditions. High-altitude tea-growing regions boast a mild climate, dense fog year-round, and ideal altitudes ranging from 800 to 2,000 meters. This environment allows tea leaves to absorb mountain aromas, mist, and minerals from the soil, creating a flavor that is difficult for other countries to replicate. In Yunnan, the cradle of pu'er tea, many ancient tea trees have existed for over 800 years, and tea leaves from these trees can be traded for thousands of dollars per kilogram. In China, tea is not just for drinking, but is also considered a unique form of investment. Ancient pu'er tea cakes, if properly preserved, can increase in value many times over time. Collectors often compare them to aged European wines, where age determines value. At an international auction, a pu'er tea cake made in 1950 once sold for over $1.2 million, demonstrating the strong appeal of Chinese tea culture in the modern era. Today, Tea also serves as a soft diplomatic tool for China. Many heads of state visiting China have been presented with precious teas such as longjing or pu'er instead of traditional ceremonial gifts. Through this, tea transcends the realm of cuisine to become a subtle bridge between China and the rest of the world. Number 10. China's largest cities. Beijing, the capital and historical core of China, served as the capital of 6 major dynasties and holds more than 3,000 years of civilization. It contains 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, more than any other capital in the world. The Forbidden City, with over 9,000 rooms, is the largest palace complex ever built, while Tiananmen Square can hold nearly 1 million people. Beneath the modern city lies a vast underground network constructed during the Cold War, now partially open to visitors. With almost 900 kilometers of subway lines and more than 10 million daily commuters, Beijing clearly blends imperial history with a fast-moving, high-tech urban rhythm. Shanghai reflects the face of 21st century China, where glass skyscrapers glow under neon lights day and night. In just 70 years, its population expanded from about 5 million to nearly 29 million. As China's top financial center, the city is defined by the historic Bund, the Huangpu River, and the 632-meter Shanghai Tower. Alongside its modern skyline, districts such as Xintiandi and Tianzifang preserve narrow lanes and colonial-era buildings, creating a distinctive fusion of Eastern and Western influences. Guangzhou is among China's oldest trading cities and marked the beginning of the Maritime Silk Road over 2,000 years ago. Today, it remains a major export hub, with the Canton Fair drawing global businesses each year. The city is also known for its Cantonese culture, including the local language, refined dim sum cuisine, and an open social atmosphere. Its balanced lifestyle and livable environment often rank it as the most satisfying city in southern China. Shenzhen best illustrates China's rapid modern transformation. Once a fishing village with fewer than 1 million residents in 1990, it has grown into a technology center with over 13 million people. It hosts major companies such as Huawei, Tencent, and DJI, along with countless startups. Development moves so quickly that new tech products often appear here before reaching Western markets, earning Shenzhen its reputation as Asia's Silicon Valley. Chongqing is a megacity shaped by mountains and rivers, forming a striking vertical urban landscape. With more than 32 million residents, it is one of the world's most populous cities. Its layered roads, bridges, and subway lines give rise to the nickname 8D City. Landmarks like Liziba Station, where a train passes through residential buildings, define its identity. At night, city lights reflecting on the Yangtze River create a dramatic skyline, leading many to call Chongqing the New York of China's mountains. Number 11. The strangest dishes in China. One of the most unique dishes in Chinese cuisine is beggar's chicken, a dish with humble origins that has been elevated to a premium delicacy. Local legend tells that in Zhejiang province, a beggar, after stealing a chicken, lacked cooking utensils. He wrapped the chicken in lotus leaves, covered it with clay, and buried it in hot coals. When the clay was broken, an unexpected aroma spread, giving birth to the dish by chance. Today, beggar's chicken is elaborately prepared in high-end restaurants, slow-cooked for hours to ensure tender, sweet meat infused with the subtle fragrance of lotus leaves. Stinky tofu is another dish that many are wary of due to its strong smell. Its pungent odor often deters those unfamiliar with it, but for locals, it's a sign of exquisite flavor. A common saying among connoisseurs is that the stronger the smell, the better. In Beijing, stinky tofu is usually deep-fried until crispy and drizzled with a rich, spicy sauce. In Hunan or Taiwan, this dish is steamed or grilled, combined with herbs and unique spices, creating an experience that is both shocking and captivating. On the opposite side of the culinary spectrum, insect cuisine is also a curious feature. Dishes made from scorpions, grasshoppers, or silkworm pupae are commonly found in night markets. On Wangfujing Street in Beijing, tourists can easily find grilled scorpion skewers, crispy fried dragonflies, or butter-fried silkworms. Although they look like something out of a science fiction movie, these dishes are rich in protein, raised under controlled conditions, and are increasingly popular among young people. Besides these controversial everyday dishes, China also boasts foods associated with power and social status. Bird's nest porridge, made from the nests of rare swallows, was once considered a symbol of wealth and health. A bowl of porridge could cost hundreds of dollars and was usually only served at state banquets or lavish weddings. Additionally, duck tongue is a unique dish, famous for its crispy, chewy texture and slightly fatty flavor. Often prepared spicy or marinated in soy sauce, it is very popular in Shanghai and Guangzhou. Number 12. Asia's mysterious Bermuda Triangle. Nestled in the remote Alai Mountains of Xinjiang, near the Mongolian border, lies a place whispered only by locals, the Valley of Death. In winter, temperatures can plummet to below -40 degrees Celsius, and the entire area is almost completely isolated from the outside world. For over a century, oral tradition has claimed that anyone who enters this valley never returns. Many hunters, explorers, and even soldiers have vanished without a trace. Some of the rare bodies found have strangely charred skin, while their clothing remains intact, a phenomenon that science has yet to fully explain. Some researchers hypothesize that underground pockets of highly toxic methane and hydrogen sulfide gases exist, capable of causing death in minutes. Another theory suggests that the area lies at the intersection of strong magnetic fields, rendering compasses and navigational equipment ineffective and causing people to quickly lose their way. However, for the locals, Death Valley is sacred land. They believe that the spirits of ancient warriors who died in tribal wars still wander here, protecting the valley from intruders. Some ethnographers have recorded stories of distant war drums and horse neighing at night, forcing many survey teams to turn back. To this day, no one has dared venture more than 3 kilometers into the center of the valley, considered the Bermuda Triangle of Asia. Thousands of kilometers away, on the eastern coast of China, lies a completely opposite mystery. On Shangshan Island in Zhejiang Province, a village has been swallowed up by nature. This place was once a bustling fishing village, but from the 1990s onwards, as fish stocks declined drastically, the residents gradually left, leaving the houses empty for time to take over. Within just a few years, vines and green moss covered the walls, roofs, and pathways, transforming the village into a green oasis in the middle of the sea. This phenomenon has attracted the attention of photographers and biologists worldwide. The plants here grow many times faster than normal thanks to the unique microclimate and the complete absence of humans. Standing in this space, many visitors say they feel as if the Earth is breathing on its own, as if witnessing a post-human world where nature has regained control. Number 13. Where 1.4 billion consumers reshape global markets. Located in Hunan Province, Zhangjiajie is often described as a land of mountains suspended in mid-air, where reality and imagination appear to merge. The region features over 3,000 towering sandstone pillars, many rising up to 400 meters from forests and mist. This extraordinary scenery inspired James Cameron's Avatar, earning Zhangjiajie the nickname Real-Life Pandora. Geologists estimate that these formations began taking shape around 380 million years ago, as wind and water gradually eroded sedimentary rock, leaving behind isolated pillars that resembled natural skyscrapers. Beyond its surreal geology, Zhangjiajie is famous for bold, man-made attractions. The Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge, measuring 430 meters long and 300 meters high, once held the world record for the highest and longest glass bridge. Visitors walk across a transparent surface, looking straight into the deep valley below. Many struggle with fear of heights, yet overcoming that fear is what makes the experience unforgettable. Nearby, the Beilong Elevator, standing 326 meters tall, carries visitors from the mountain base to the summit in just 2 minutes, creating the sensation of being lifted into the sky. About 800 kilometers southwest lies Jiuzhaigu, a UNESCO World Heritage Site often called China's natural color palette. The valley contains over 100 lakes whose colors shift with sunlight and mineral content, ranging from turquoise to deep blue and amber. Five Flower Lake stands out for its crystal clear water, revealing fallen tree trunks beneath the surface, as if exposing another world below. Jiuzhaigou is also home to the Nuo Ri Lang waterfall, 20 meters high and 300 meters wide, flowing through ancient forest like a massive crystal curtain. In autumn, when the surrounding trees turn red and gold, the landscape resembles a living oil painting. Further south, the Yuanyang terraced rice fields in Yunnan province illustrate how humans have shaped nature for centuries. Built by the Han people over 1,300 years ago, the terraces cascade across more than 3,000 levels between 1,000 and 2,000 meters in elevation. From a distance, they curve like silk ribbons along the mountainsides. Each season brings a new appearance, from reflective waters in spring to green summers, golden autumns, and misty winters, a transformation that led UNESCO to call it a visual symphony between humanity and nature. Number 14. Things tourists should know. When traveling in China, many people encounter the tea invitation scam in Beijing and Shanghai. Usually, a few young people who speak good English invite you to experience traditional tea near tourist sites. The interaction seems friendly until the bill comes to several hundred yuan. If you refuse to pay, security guards may show up. The authorities have warned about this repeatedly, so politely decline invitations for tea or free performances. A safety tip is to only join experiences booked through your hotel or verified tours. Payment can also catch you off guard because QR codes and mobile wallets have almost completely replaced cash. Many taxis or small shops may not accept cash. If you don't have Alipay or WeChat Pay, you may face difficulties. You should prepare an eSIM or mobile data to log into your mobile wallet and also take photos of your booking QR codes and receipts just in case you lose internet access. A useful tip is to book hotels and tours through international platforms so you can pay in advance by card. Another common issue is fake taxis at airports and train stations. Some unlicensed drivers wait right at the exits and offer fixed rates that are 2 or 3 times higher. Legitimate taxis have meters, license plates starting with the letter B, and fare charts posted on the door. You should follow the official taxi queues inside terminals, request the driver to print a receipt, and record the car's license plate number and the hotel address in Chinese provided by your hotel. Getting into the wrong car can cost you money and may take you to unwanted commission-based shops. Number 15. The living costs. The cost of living in China varies significantly between regions and depends heavily on individual lifestyles. In major cities like Beijing and Shanghai, the rent for a one-bedroom apartment typically ranges from $600 to $900 per month. If you cook at home, the average food cost is around $230 to $280. Meanwhile, eating at local restaurants is quite inexpensive, costing only about $3 to $7 per meal. In smaller cities like Chengdu or Xi'an, the cost of living is generally about 30% lower, so many foreigners choose to live there to reduce expenses. Public transportation in China is considered one of the most modern and efficient systems in Asia. For just $15 to $20 per month, residents can enjoy unlimited use of the subway and buses without owning a vehicle. In Beijing alone, the integrated transport card allows for shared use of public bicycles and intercity trains, making travel more flexible. Fitness services are also very popular. For about $30 to $50 per month, you can participate in many activities such as yoga, boxing, or gym workouts. Overall, the average cost of living for one person in China typically ranges from $880 to $1,800 per month, depending on the city and spending habits. And those are 15 amazing facts about China. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next journey. Which fact impressed you the most? Feel free to comment below. The information is for reference only, so please verify it yourself before making any decisions.